Welcome to the first episode of Let's Talk Nonprofits. This program is designed to increase awareness of the great work that goes on in the nonprofit sector and those behind the great work. We also seek to share best practices of successful organizations to help other organizations become more effective and efficient in rendering their service. I would like to acknowledge the insight of our great founder and executive producer of the BizLynks TV network, Mrs. R. Pamela Adams Alexander. I would like to recognize her and applaud her for her insight in recognizing the value of this quality type program for the nonprofit sector. So to Ms. R. Pamela Adams Alexander, we salute you, and this sip's for you. My name is Nash Alexander III, and I am really honored to be the host of Let's Talk Nonprofit. We ask that you share this link to the show throughout your social networks and to the BizLynks YouTube channel. It can also be viewed on demand at www.bizlinks.tv. There is a portion of scripture in the Bible that says, quote, "A little child shall lead them." Today, I think it is very befitting that we launch our premiere show with the 12-year-old who is now 13, founder and president of Change for Georgia. As president and founder of Change for Georgia, Remington's mission is to inspire and help others. He displays an amount of enthusiasm and energy that only someone passionate about his work can do. He is meeting real people and real human needs individually with his responsibility and his hard work, integrated with effective leadership skills and academic achievement. To date, his program has raised over $1 million in cash and in-kind donations. An award-winning, polished, and engaged speaker, Remington founded Change for Georgia at age 10 and has been invited to speak at over 100 venues, leaving audiences of thousands mesmerized, amazed, and inspired. He is enrolled in advanced classes. He is a member of Student Council. He is the president of Builders Club and has earned a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Let's Talk Nonprofit's very first guest, Master Remington Youngblood. Welcome, Remington.
Thank you.
And it is so great to have you here. I tell you, I'm just honored to be able to sit with you and share your story. I've read as much as I could possibly read about you, and I am just impressed. And again, we thank you and your mother for agreeing to come and be a part of our premiere show. Remington, before we get into all the specifics and all the details of you as the leader of Let Change for Georgia, tell us about Remington the kid. You know, that kid who just enjoys having fun, just like those regular, everyday children. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm really into fishing. In fact, we just got back from Tampa where I went shark fishing and caught my first shark. It was 180 pounds.
Wow.
It took a while to reel in. My arms are still sore.
Okay.
And I also like zip lining and hanging out with my friends, swimming. I enjoy running, and photography and videography are some of a couple of my most favorite hobbies.
Great, great, great. I mean, I know that you do great work, and we're going to get into that, but, you know, I needed people to understand that, I mean, you're a child. I mean,
yes, sir.
You know, and I say that from the standpoint of just age, because you have proven yourself to be a very mature young individual. And so when I say child, I guess I should give you a better, you're a teenager, actually. You're 13, so
yes,
let
sir.
me give you those props. But I wanted people to understand, because at the outset, I wanted them to understand who he is as an individual. I want you to understand that he's just the neighbor next door. I want you to understand he's just the kid that's in church that you might see in the choir stand. He's just this kid. But when you hear his story, I know it's going to challenge you to just envision that, and you're going to see him in more larger than human and larger than childlike teenage figure. But I want everybody to be sure Remington is a child that's like everybody, that enjoys having fun, like he shared with you. And so as we share his story, we want you to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't think that he, and I'm sure he doesn't mind and he will agree, and his mom would definitely encourage us to make this clear. Don't think that he's so special, that he's some extraordinary individual, would you say,
Yes, sir.
that only a select few can do it. that I think you will share your story to let other people know that they too can be change makers.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I want us to just get out the way and let everybody understand, because after they hear your great story, I don't want them to walk away with that misconception. Let me ask, so any brothers or sisters?
Yes, sir. I have a 32-year-old sister.
All right, all right, all right. So what does she think about the work that you're doing?
She is very impressed with the work I'm doing with Change for Georgia. And she is a teacher and working on her doctorate,
right.
so I'm also impressed with that about her, too. But she's a great sister, and I'm just really glad that she's impressed with what I'm doing.
Very good. And I could just imagine she's probably just so proud that when she's wherever she is, that you're talk of her conversation. Let me ask you this. Any role models?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'd have to say my two biggest role models are no doubt my parents.
Okay.
My mom, who I refer to as my secretary, chauffeur, and #1 fan.
Okay.
And my dad, who is my personal trainer,
Okay.
financial advisor, and my hero. They assist me in becoming the world's leading expert on me. But seriously, my mom, she's all the work she puts in to Change for Georgia and taking off time means so much to me, and I just want to say thank you to both my parents, and they're huge role models.
Well, I tell you, that's befitting. To have your parents as your role model is something special, and I'm sure that they're proud of that, and I know that they're grateful to be able to hear you acknowledge that. So those are role models for you. So we encourage everyone out there you don't have to go so far away from home to find someone that's able to inspire you to do great things, would you say?
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell us about Change for Georgia. How did it get started?
Back when we moved here, which was in October of 2011, I was 10 years old. I called many different places asking if they had volunteer opportunities I could help out with. And they said, no, sorry, you're too young, you'll be a liability, your soup cans might fall on your head. Ouch. So I asked my mom, my secretary, chef, and chauffeur, if I could start my own program. And she said, yes, Rem, but it's a lot of hard work, but if you're willing to put in the time and effort, I will help you out. So she has been a huge help, and again, one of my role models. But with what Change for Georgia does, is we assist the troops overseas by providing with items like beef jerky, ramen noodles, and crackers. Veterans and their families here at home by providing with toys, food, personal items, and books. And we also assist student veterans at local colleges by providing them with scholarships for their extraordinary efforts and going above and beyond the call of duty.
Wow. To me that sounds like, you're really hitting the family.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not just the soldier.
We want to help everyone with military, and it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah. I tell you, I've seen a lot of your videos. I've read a lot of the covers that is out there on you, and it seems like a lot of fun. I see that you get other young people involved as well. You're not just the only one out there.
No, sir. We have a board of about 40 students, which we call the Senior Fundraising Committee.
Wow.
And what they do is they come to fundraisers, they help out, they spread the word to their friends. And we also have the Junior Executive Board, which consists of 7 members, and each of the members is required to come up with one project and one fundraiser annually.
Wow. Remington, when I hear you talk, I hear a board executive sitting here, You're coordinating a lot. You're doing a lot of things that some adults never get an opportunity to do, and that's lead people. And it sounds like you're very effective in that leadership. I would like to go a little further with that idea of, in fact, I said idea, and that's actually what I want to talk about. Share with us the idea, objectives of Change for Georgia.
Well, the idea is an acronym that I came up with, and it stands for the I stands for to intently inspire students to get up and get involved in their communities.
Okay.
The D is to diligently demonstrate patriotism, which we all need to have pride for our country.
Yes.
The E is to effectively encourage a positive, healthy, and active lifestyle. I mean, everyone likes to be happy and everyone likes to be positive.
Yes.
And the A is to assist our military and veterans, which is very important.
Okay. Well, I tell you, when I saw that, I was very much impressed with the idea, and I think it's a great goal and mission that you have there. I'm curious. I'm one of those individuals, when I see stuff, I'm always asking why. Why? Why? And so when I saw change for the number 4,
Yes, sir.
Georgia, I was curious. I was wondering, well, why wasn't it just spelled FOR?
Well, the number 4 kind of stands for the 4 letters in idea.
Very good, very good. Then that's clever. I would not have thought of that. I would not have figured that out. In fact, I didn't figure that out. You told me. But I tell you, that's very ingenious. I think that speaks to the type of young man that you are in terms of your creative skill set. So again, guys, when we talk about Remington Youngblood, we're talking about an individual who's definitely gifted. I think even in this short period of time that we are being on air, that you realize that he is unique. I know in the beginning I talked about him being ordinary, but he's an ordinarily gifted young man that has been blessed with a challenge and a passion to do some significant things. But again, I don't want anyone to miss the fact that regardless of who you are and where you are, you can also attain these skills if you don't have them. And I think that's the story that you're here to share. And that not only here, but like I say, you've spoken in over 100 venues.
Yes,
but
sir.
That's your message, right?
Yes, sir.
That other young people can get involved and nothing extra special about it, right?
Like the advice I'd give to a young student who doesn't think they can help would be just strive to do what you really want to do, and kind of do what I did. Just start your own program. I mean, you can bake cookies, give out flowers to a senior center, have a old-fashioned lemonade stand. I mean, who doesn't love lemonade?
Yeah.
And just really, you can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone, and you can't do everything, but you can do anything.
Remington, I'm glad that you have that foresight. My background was education. I think I talked to you briefly offset, and I remember the first year that I taught. I would cut this incident briefly, but a professional educator who had been in the industry or in education for more than 20 years pulled me aside one day and said, Mr. Alexander, I see how passionate you are about the students and how you pour out to them, but I want you to be careful to understand you can't save everybody. Now, that was a challenge for me because I entered the education field, leaving research, expecting to be the savior of the world. But you've learned already, Remington, that there's a limitation to what individuals, even Remington, can do. So I'm glad to hear you say that, so you're not pressured to try to achieve some unachievable objective. So great insight. What, did Mom share that with you, or did you learn that along the way?
I learned that along the way.
Good job, good job. Remington, another thing, in doing the research on you, I saw that you have a significant number of organizations that are behind you. And I tell you, I talk to a lot of nonprofits, and I see a lot of nonprofits research or information or background information, and many of them are searching to find ways to have people, organizations, individuals to support their cause, and a lot of struggle with that. But I tell you, I literally, and this is the truth, I literally got tired of counting the number of organizations you had. I couldn't get through the first column. You have shown some effective strategies, I'm sure, in being able to garner that many supporters. What advice would you share with other organizational leaders to increase their effectiveness in acquiring organizational support?
Well, if you want to get support from other organizations, some organizations you have to call corporate, but some you can just walk into, like local businesses, and a lot of local businesses like to support local causes. And let's just say you needed a donation from something, you could just walk into the business, talk to the manager, tell them what you're doing, kind of like what I did.
Yeah.
And if not, it's okay, and you can just go to another business, or you could write letters. So that's how we got over 100 businesses supporting us, and they're all awesome.
I didn't know, so I'm glad to hear that you says over 100. I think I may have stopped at 20, but but over 100. And what we want to share again here on Let's Talk Nonprofits is that type of thing, best practices. How did Change for Georgia get to the point of having more than 20? I mean, organizations would die to have 5 and 10. but he has over 100 that support his cause. And so I hope you took advice or took note on the advice that he gave in terms of how you can strategically approach, understanding the levels at which they may have to approach, whether it's a corporate approach or whether it's face-to-face with the local business. But again, I hope you keep this airing on your channel, your YouTube channel, and look back on this interview and make note of that cause. I think we may be approaching a commercial break, and so what we're going to do right now is take a commercial break, and when we come back, Remington is a very awesome young man, but again, I am clearly aware, and I'm sure you out there truly know, the work that he's accomplished with Change for Georgia, being a 10-year-old to come up with the idea to make this happen, that he had to have some outside resources in addition to these support groups. And so we're going to hear from Ms. Rebecca Youngblood, his mother, and see what she has to say about her role as secretary, taxi driver, and all those other responsibilities. So we will see you right back after the commercial break. Thank you.
What happens when soldiers come home? Brene Foundation offers hero support to ensure that our heroes abroad can continue to be heroes at home. We link veterans with organizations who are dedicated to guiding the transition from military hero to civilian hero. If you want to find out how you can support our troops at home, please contact the Brene Foundation or visit brene.com.
Does your son need a more challenging, focused, and encouraging educational environment? Renaissance Christian Academy is an affordable private school for boys located in McDonough, Georgia, with certified teachers that are uniquely equipped to help your son master learning. You're welcome to schedule a tour of our facilities by calling 770-305-9881 or by visiting our website at rcaboysacademy.org. Renaissance Christian Academy, developing young men to be great leaders through Christ-centered learning.
10 years to learn the business. 10 years to make a name. 1 year on your own. It takes time to build a small business, but only 60 days to transform it with email marketing from Constant Contact. Sign up with Constant Contact and get 60 days of free email marketing to generate referrals, connect with clients, and build the business you've always wanted. Constant Contact. Start your 60-day free trial today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nonprofits, and we would like to recognize our show sponsor, SIP for Your Cause. SIP for Your Cause can be found at www.sipforyourcause.org, and that is FOR, sipforyourcause.org. And again, SIP for Your Cause seeks to help nonprofit organizations increase their awareness, their sustainability, their expansion, and ultimately their impact. And so we're proud to have SIP for Your Cause be our show sponsor for today. And again, visit them on their website, like them on the Facebook, and help them make a difference by helping other nonprofit organizations. Well, we're back, and we're here with Mom, taxi driver, secretary, and we're very excited and proud, and I am really honored to have you here with us as well, because we want to hear your story as well, because we know the Change for Georgia story has your voice and has your handprint, fingerprint, thumbprint on it. So we'd just like to hear, first tell us a little bit about you. I mean, just as much as you would like to, or how little.
Okay, great. Well,
Who's Rebecca Youngblood?
Thank you for having
Yes,
Remington and myself
Yes,
on your show.
You're welcome.
I have a daughter, as Remington mentioned, and it took us 10 years to get Remington.
Okay.
So he is, as all children are, a blessing.
Okay. Very
But
cool.
I enjoy working out and really helping Remington be the best that he can be, like he mentioned earlier. And we all know how quickly our children grow up and they're out the door.
Yes.
And I realize in 5 years he'll be gone. So I pretty much am just a full-time mom doing what I can to help him and to teach him compassion and to be sure he knows how important it is to reach out and help others.
Well, let me tell you, Rebecca, and you and I have agreed to be on first-name basis from our initial phone call. I would definitely say that you have achieved that objective. My opportunity to just talk to Remington off camera, and definitely an awesome person. It comes through his media material content that he's just an awesome young man, and so you've done well with that which you just stated. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Tip and hats off to you, and as we say with Sip for Your Cause, this sip is for you.
Thank
so
you.
how did you become aware of Remington's interest in community service at the age of 10?
Well, I think it started back in 3rd grade. We lived in Illinois, and there was a coat drive at school. And I remember he was so excited when he ran inside. I was like, Mom, we're having a coat drive. You know, kids need coats.
Wow.
So I said, okay, well, let's go. And within 5 minutes, we were out the door and on our way to Gap, where we proceeded to, Remington picked out 5 big, fat, fluffy, warm winter coats.
Wow.
They were so fat that only 2 would fit in each bag. So the next day, we went to his school, and, you know, just little 8-year-old got out and he got a couple of bags, you know, 2 coats in each one, and he looked at me, and I looked back at him, and it was like, you're doing this on your own, baby. You're carrying those coats up. And being in Illinois, it was freezing,
Yes.
windy, snowy, and I watched this little boy go up the sidewalk, up the stairs, into the school, back out of the school, down the stairs, back to get 2 more bags.
Wow.
And he just came back and forth. But he told me that it made him feel so good to know that other kids would be warmer that winter season because of these coats. And after that, every time his school had a drive, food drive, we were throwing cans, filling up carts at Target. I just knew that he had a servant's heart.
Wow, 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 wow. 8. Having a sensitivity to your surroundings. Again, first of all, it's amazing. I'm sure I'm not the only one that find that unusual for a child to be that sensitive to his environment. So again, so let me ask you this. So he decided to do this coat drive, and, you know, so did you think, okay, we'll do this thing, and Remington would do this thing this one time, and that would be it? I mean, did you ever imagine Change for Georgia?
No. But, I mean, every time there was something where he could do something to help someone, or simply picking up trash on the side of the road. I mean, driving home, and he's like, Mom, there's trash. Why are people throwing their trash? And we should go pick that up. So there we went, gloves on, trash bags, walking down the side of the road, picking up trash. So no, I had no idea that it would get as large as it's gotten.
Yes.
And I just remember him looking up at me like a child on Christmas Eve, you know, asking if he could start with this program.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking on the inside, wow, that's going to be a lot of work.
Yes.
But on the outside, I said, Remington, if you're willing to work hard, I will help you, much like God helps those that help themselves.
Well, see, that speaks to parents and their leadership of children, and we're going to pause momentarily. We have received a call, and this call it has come from California, Los Angeles. This is a call that I requested last night, so it was very late last night, and got confirmation this morning that it would happen. But when I first learned about Change for Georgia and its cause to focus on the military, there's an organization just immediately, every time I hear anything about military, this organization just rises to the forethoughts of my mind, and it's the Brene Foundation. In fact, they were in our commercial that went on during the break, and it is founded by the president and founder, Kevin Brene, who's a very dear family member of ours, actually sister of my wife, the executive producer of Let's Talk Nonprofits. But Kevin, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Kevin.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And we're here, I'm sure you caught some of the conversation, we're here with the Youngbloods. I like that name. With Remington, who's 13 and who is on fire with Change for Georgia, his nonprofit organization that seeks to do what you're focused on helping military veterans as well as their families. And so last night it just came to me in my thoughts that, we need to get you guys in touch, because Kevra, she is a very awesome lady doing some very awesome things out there on the West Coast, but it is moving beyond the West Coast. But what I want to do is take this opportunity to do something very special and unique on Let's Talk Nonprofits, our very first show, and I want to make this connection. I want to make this connection because I believe, I know that Kevra has extensive contacts, but she, through the Brene Foundation, seeks to, let me do this. Brene, Kevra, you're there. Why don't you share with us, what does the Brene Foundation do?
Brene Foundation has an initiative that is linking our truth, and we basically do that by partnering currently with House of Blues, Live Nation. We offer a neutral environment, music, atmosphere, so that vets can come and have a great time, but they also receive information from our panel. Our panel will consist of veteran organizations, a lead person from the VA, a lead person from the workforce center in the area, an HR person from one of the local major corporations that currently have a veteran initiative drive as well. So it allows us an opportunity to get both of them in the same place at the same time, so that they can have a one-on-one conversation, they can ask questions, they can solve problems. And we cover everything from employment to housing support to relaxation, music therapy tools for the veteran children and their families. So when I heard about this opportunity to actually meet Remington by phone and his family and learn more about Change for Georgia, I was really excited. And my heart is just warm based on what you're doing for fellow vets. I come from a veteran family, so this is an important thing that you're doing, and I'm really excited that you're doing it.
Wow, thank you. That means a lot.
And I would tell you, and that's exactly what came to my mind. I did think about the fact you growing up as a military child and knowing your story and the impact that has resulted from your family's commitment to this country through the military and service, and which brought about the Brene Foundation. But it's my intention, with your permission, Kevra, to give him your contact information, and you guys, wherever this takes it, hopefully it will bring him out there on the West Coast with you, especially when you do, what's that big event you have at the House of Blues? What's that thing? You just had one.
Yes, we just had a Linking Our Truth initiative at House of Blues for the 4th of July to bring awareness for the Veterans Day event we have coming up in November, which is actually going to be that Tuesday on Veterans Day. So I would love to talk with Remington and his family, and maybe we can find a way to do something together for that project. Yeah,
and Kevra, they also, when you go to his website, you will see Change for Georgia, and the governor has recognized Remington and his work, among some other key officials and other organizations. So I think it would be a mutually beneficial relationship, that wherever it goes, but that you guys can just work with each other. I would share this with you. Karen Beavers, who's actually the Georgia Nonprofit Center for Nonprofit president and CEO, she actually wrote an article in the Georgia Nonprofit Now back in the spring of 2012. And basically she talks about the fact that there's such a large need in the nonprofit sector in terms of helping citizens in the world. She said, but there are a lot of organizations that are working in silos, and she's encouraging them to move out and to leverage one another. So that also came to my mind when I thought about the two organizations. So hopefully something can come of it, and wherever it leads, you guys, I know God would bless. Kevra, we appreciate you for coming in. I'm not sure if there's any questions either way that you'd like to ask of one another, but if not, we definitely will make sure that you guys get in touch with one another. We're proud of what you do, Kevin, with the Brene Foundation and all that you do out there, and we look forward to having you out here on Let's Talk Nonprofit soon. More importantly, we want to take Let's Talk Nonprofits on the road and come out there and cover the House of Blues piece.
We're there.
No,
Definitely.
I like that. I love that idea.
All right. Kevin, we thank you. We know that you were in a meeting, and we appreciate you coming out, and we love you, sis, and you take care and continue to do great things out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. It was wonderful to meet you guys. Congratulations, Remington. Stay strong.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we thank Kevin for calling in. She's a great person. You guys, I know, will mesh wonderfully together. So I'm excited about that opportunity, and so I'm grateful to be able to bring you guys together. I really do. People always ask, "Well, Nash, what do you do?" And how do you do it? I really look at myself as a convener. I bring people together. I bring people together who have common goals and resources, and that we can garner the resources, we can get those thinking resources together and help accomplish those goals that we have. So that's just something I enjoy doing. I'm glad we had the privilege of doing that. I look forward to hearing how that relationship grows. Well, again, we are back here with Rebecca Youngblood. I do have a few more questions that I want to ask of her before we get back to Remington and begin to close out. But I heard you say that you decided to encourage him and say that, okay, inside, you're thinking all the difficulties, but outside you showed him, okay, Remington, these are things that are going to be required. These are things you're going to have to do and step up to the plate to make this happen. So tell me, what advice would you give parents, who have children who are thinking about things that may be adult things, and but what advice would you give them when a 10-year-old says, I want to do something that's adult?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily wait until the child comes to you. You can certainly say to your child, hey, we need to do something to help our community, to help our neighbor, and then help the child. Obviously, at that age, they're not going to, on their own, know who to call. So I helped Remington come up with, YMCA, churches, just different organizations, Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
But like he said, he was told by all these organizations he was too young. But don't give up. Yeah. There's plenty of other things that you can do with your child, whether it's help them make the lemonade and help them do a stand, make an appointment with their principal. Yeah. Take them up there and let them meet with their principal and ask the principal, hey, can we do a food drive this year? Can we do a book drive?
Absolutely.
Use clothing? Can we put a tree up and provide toys or gifts or socks? There's just, the opportunities are endless. But you have to be willing to help your child get to where they need to get so then they can do what they want to do. Pick something your child is passionate about. It may not be veterans or military. It could be homelessness. It could be children in Africa that need books. There's so much need out there. So you've got to help them and contact them. There's organizations. There's United Way and the Red Cross. The past 2 years, Remington has volunteered for United Way's Flavors of Forsyth. Yeah. And he and his friends, they've had the best time doing it together. Wow. This year he helped with the bounce house, which was probably, maybe 2 to 4 year olds?
Yes, ma'am. It was a lot of fun.
Making sure they were safe, bouncing around. And then he helped children make Mother's Day crafts. And, it's just, they just have fun. Yeah. They learn so much. I can't stress enough the different areas that your child will grow in. Social skills, leadership skills, learning how to speak well, meeting people, networking, learning about social media. I mean, it's endless.
Yes. Yes. I hear what you're saying, and you know what I take from that?
What's that?
Start with something simple. Like you said earlier, you never imagined change for Georgia. You never imagined being at the governor's mansion or talking receipt. You didn't have eyes set on that. No. You just started small. You started with coats, given to children in need.
Yes, sir.
And so that's the message I hear you say, that, help your child find something to do. She mentioned the passion, interest, whatever it might be. But again, you don't have to think that it's some big, great things. Those big, great things often always start with something very simple and small. I would like, on simple and small, that leads us into a quote that I'll mention shortly as we begin to close. But before we do, I just want to say that it is definitely a pleasure, an esteemed pleasure, and my honor to have you join us, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, absolutely. And we applaud you, and we give you the highest level of honor on that. Yeah, let's clap for it. Remington's are doing yes.
I'm not worthy. I'm just a mother.
Yeah.
You're worthy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Because I learned something, but I definitely understand where it comes from. I definitely understand. And it took me years to get to the point when some people just kept telling me, no, Nash, you're worthy of this. You're worthy of this. Yes, this is what you've done. And so I'm telling you, Rebecca, yes, we know it's through the strength and will of God that He's blessed this to take place. But you're the one that said, okay, I'll be obedient. And that's what you're worthy of being willing to be used of God.
Thank you.
And to lead Remington as you have. I mean, just anybody that gets a chance to talk to Remington knows that you have definitely impressed him, and his family has been very impressionable in making some very significant impacts on it. So as we begin to wrap up here, I just want to make sure that I ask, Remington, so what's next? Book deals, movies? What's up? What's up for you next?
Well, a movie is a good idea, but it's funny you ask because I am writing a book.
Okay.
It's about inspiring students to really get up and get involved in their communities. And it should be out nearing the end of 2015. And I'm super excited because my grandmother, who is an artist, is doing all of the illustrations. So.
Wow. Now that is neat. That is, I don't even know what the word is, but something that encompasses the idea of, family. I mean, that's your grandmother and you doing something together.
Yes, ma'am.
Based upon concepts that Mom was involved with. And that's a treasure that you will be able to keep and pass on to your children and their children. I want a copy. I want a signed copy. In fact, I want all three of you to sign it, okay?
I will definitely get you a signed copy.
Please do.
Yes,
In
sir.
fact, when the book's publishing announcements or whatever signs, I want to be there. In fact, if you'll permit, we would like to bring BizLynks TV network out there and cover it.
Of course.
Yes. We look forward
Thank you.
to. No, it has been our pleasure, our esteemed honor to have
Thank
you
you.
here today. We are thankful that God chose you to be the first on this maiden voyage of Let's Talk Nonprofits. And like we say for Sip for Your Cause, again, who is our sponsor for our show, Sip for Your Cause has this salute. It's their highest level salute that they can give anybody, but they take their coffee, tea, or hot chocolate, and they raise it up and they say, this sip's for you. So, guys,
I love it.
we say this sip's for you, that you guys have done an awesome job. You're doing a great work. We look forward to working with you wherever we can or wherever you permit us to do
Thank
so.
you.
Yeah, no, Remington, I salute you, and I congratulate you on a job well done. I continue to be the proud, confident young man that you are, that is full of compassion. And I just can't wait to see the adult that you'll become. And when you're blessed with children, I just can't imagine, what will be their experience. How would they be impressed and molded? So I'm excited. So in other words, I'm telling you, you guys, if you didn't want to have an attachment, an appendix to you, you have us attached. We're going to become part of the family.
Wonderful.
Change for Georgia. Guys, www.changefor, that's the number 4, Georgia.org. And again, like them on Facebook. Follow on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Twitter and Instagram.
Yes,
Facebook,
yes.
if you don't mind.
No, go
Facebook
right
and Twitter are Change for Georgia all together, no spaces, and then it's the number 4. And our Instagram is _C4G, the number 4, _.
Well, great. Any other parting words, any thoughts?
Well, I just want to leave your listeners with this thought.
Yeah.
And we can all learn a lot from a simple box of crayons. I mean, inside there are a lot of crayons. Some are sharp, Some are dull, some are long, and some are short. Some are well used and even have their papers ripped. And some are broken. Some have weird names and all are different colors, but somehow, you know, they all manage to live in the same box. Wow. They work together and as a Thrive team, and together the possibilities are endless.
You know, I don't know what to say after that. I was going to mention Winston Churchill and all of that, but I think that sums it up. But I will say this, Remington, I saw him quote Winston Churchill, and he says, a little thing can make a big difference. Then he comes back and says, I am that little thing making a big difference. And Remington, I'm here to say, yes, you are that little thing, and continue to make a big difference. Thank you for being a part of Let's Talk Nonprofit.
It was an honor. Thank you.
Rebecca, we thank you.
So much,
and we look
Max.
forward to
Thank
having
you.
you back. You know, we want to
honored.
be on the progress with you. We will keep track of Change for Georgia. Please stay tuned and visit our website, the www.bizlinks.tv. Also visit sipforyourcause.org, because there they will track the growth and the impact that Change for Georgia is having. Please like them on Facebook. If you would like your organization featured on Let's Talk Nonprofits, email us at letstalk@bizlinks.tv. Until next time, this SIP's for you.